Got it. You want to do the intro?
I guess.
Okay, go ahead.
You do it because I'm coughing.
Okay. Welcome to Talk About Paint Club. I'm Rick Strohmeyer. In high school, I was voted most likely to run over a pedestrian, and our hostess is choking to death.
That actress who was voted most likely to be a stoner and is proving it.
All right.
Actually, I don't even know if I was voted that.
I made mine up, of course, but yesterday we had a little bit of a terrifying event unfold in front of us where, okay, so real quick, I am a very defensive driver, and I've never hit anything living, ever. And I very much keep an eye out. I'm very cautious about bicyclists and motorcyclists like zipping by on the right to turn right when they shouldn't be. I'm just defensive about like pedestrian. Everybody who has an alternate means of transportation that isn't a car. All right. And what I picked up Alicia to go from work, and we're going down the University Avenue, and it's 4 o'clock where everybody's out on a Friday. And I see this skateboarder just going down, opposite way we are on the sidewalk. And he freaking wipes out, and his skateboard comes right to the truck to get to the rear wheel. And it's like, oh, this is terrifying, because like, had we been a little faster, or he been a little faster, probably would have had more than just a skateboard hit me. And like, the guy didn't hurt his head or anything. He's fine. He got up, and he's like humbly quick walking to his skateboard. And like, man, this could have been way worse than it was. And yeah, I'm glad it was just a bump on the tire. And I don't know why that it's like maybe I'm the only non-Kryptonian on the planet, but like, especially in Minnesota, the pedestrians think that they're freaking bulletproof, and it's just scary, because like they have no fear of cars when they go into a street. It's like, yeah, cars will stop for me. Like, you jackass.
So I am unfortunately I'm not going to say I'm ashamed of it. I am unfortunately very much one of those. I am infinitely like, no one can hurt me when I walk across the street. I am Queen Jaywalker. Even with my car accident, like, you would think I would get more careful, but man, I grew up in New York. You fucking walk when you can. Like,
it's crazy though.
And the thing is, I carry that everywhere, and people will be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but in some parts, when I was just in Brooklyn like 2 months ago, in certain parts, people, it's like you could see like people are more considerate than in St. Paul or Minnesota. And I was just like, wow, look at that person. They swiveled their head both ways. That's uncommon. So, all right, random safety rant. Nicole, how are we doing?
Doing good.
What are we drinking tonight?
Ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Liquor with you.
Oh,
you don't, do you?
No, I don't. Northern Soda Company's Cherry Citrus got a shit ton of sugar in it. I have lots of stuff to do after we're done tonight. This is the best I've felt.
Fantastic.
I'm so sorry. I haven't had a beer in over 2 weeks.
I literally, because after this, I'm watching. So on the WWE like people, New Day, which is like my favorite tag team, and then the Undertaker did this like I don't know what they're called, but like you know those shows that you can like guess what they do next, and then they'll like it'll be like wrong, and then you'll go back to whatever and like play as you go kind of show or whatever.
Sure.
And I'm watching that after this, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna drink with Rick.
Sorry, dude.
Because I feel like I need to be like a little like buzzed to be enjoying, like to laugh at least as much as I want.
Oh, we got best I've felt in 2 weeks, which I'm great. The voice has come back better, yeah. But like, we started a hot sauce about 8 hours ago, and I have to go take care of the next process after this. So like, instead of cooking it in the house, we put it in a crock pot outside. So weather's still fair for that. It's no. So then you don't have to worry about ventilation. You know.
Yeah, I like that.
So you have to like. I mean, like when we first started making hot sauce. So when I first started, it was in my apartment in old in St. Paul, but the YouTuber said, oh no, your best piece of equipment for making hot sauce is this, pointing at the window, because he just says, you start boiling that, you start getting the peppers and the vinegar going, it's going to feel like a World War I trench in no time. And so I've been very much I've heeded that advice. And one time at my buddy's, we were making massive amounts of hot sauce, and he forgot to open up the window, and we come out of the basement. It is horrid in there. And we opened up the back door, and you could just see like the fume come out in a rectangular column, in like a Play-Doh extruder. And it was like, holy shit. And
what kind of peppers do you use?
So this batch, Alicia got these habaneros from a local person. So this one is going to be a habanero with pineapple and orange juice, and we use vinegar as the base. And there's brown sugar and regular sugar and salt in it. It's kind of simple, but it should be pretty good. I'll send you a bottle if you'd like.
Oh, let's do trade, because I'm making my tomato sauce.
Okay, cool.
I'm jarring the sauce.
It's like I've got all these little bottles from Amazon, and they're going to be my Christmas gifts for this year. And I'll keep a bottle at work for the guys and stuff. And yeah, like I think a gallon of hot sauce should do me like 15 gifts easily. So.
If I do the fermented hot sauce, because I didn't think my Anaheim peppers were gonna grow, since like it's Connecticut, and like it stopped getting warm. I mean, it was warm today, but it stopped being like realistically warm, you know, like a few weeks ago. And they got like big, so I might like fast ripen them, you know, like the trick where you like put them in a bag and, you know, toss them with a few ripe tomatoes and boop. And I might do that, but I have a recipe for fermented hot sauce.
Okay.
And
that's cool.
It's with those peppers, and that was like strictly the reason why I grew them, because you can't find those here. I'm pretty sure it's just a West Coast thing, maybe. But like I've looked in every grocery store, like every type. So I just figured, fuck it, I'm gonna grow my own.
That's the best answer.
So if I do it, I'll send you some of that too. But I definitely I bought the basil today. I have the jars already, so I'm gonna sterilize those probably like Monday, and then start the tomato. This batch is Roma and San Marzano, because I only had one plant of each. Well, there was a bunch of Romas at the like nursery I went to, but there was only one San Marzano left. So I was just like, Hopefully next
Mhm.
year it can just be all San Marzano, but I didn't want to like not use typical because it's a thing. It's a thing.
Right.
Some people would say it's a mortal sin that I'm combining them. Some people would say it's a mortal sin that I'm not using just Roma. Some Italians would say it's a mortal sin I'm not using just San Marzano. But I would
That's all right.
for where I learned, it will be just San Marzano next year.
And then here's my hot sauce hack too. Is like you'll strain it after. I'll strain it in 2 weeks time, and all that pulp that gets strained that goes in the bottom of a crock pot with the pork loin, so that helps, and along with some extra fluids and stuff, and that would be the seasoning for pulled pork tacos. So there you go. Welcome to Sauce Talk, and there we go.
And I
let's see.
guess my tip for sauce, even though it's a mortal sin for some Italians too. So I'm covering my eyes for a lot of this stuff because like I know that some people would be like, how dare you? Yeah. Throughout the year, my tomatoes turn red, and I am not gonna fucking waste any of that. Right. So they go in the freezer. And you wouldn't do it with like a garden tomato that you're using for a salad or for like your sandwich or whatever, but it's fine to do for sauce. Yeah, it's fine to do sauce tomatoes because it turns to mush anyway. So when you're going to boil it down,
okay, cool.
Yeah, it adds a like micro condensation because like if I took the bag out right now, you would see that there's no ice in the bag. Like it's just a frozen hard ass tomato. So right now my grandmother and my aunt are probably going like this, and they're like, yeah, my aunt's in the other room in her like little like urn thing, so she's probably like sending me like little Maloik shit.
Oh.
Cooking tips.
Cooking tips on the Pete Show. There you go. All right.
I could do baking tips for us.
Oh. We'll get Alicia on and give us all the baking tips.
Yay! Can her and I have like a girls like talk about paint club, but just baking?
Well, let's see. I'm going to look at the calendar to see if she'll take an invitation. And December is a great baking month. Let's see.
Yeah, we could do like a fake ass cookie exchange. No, we could actually mail. Oh, here I'm going with ideas. This is what happens when I have a few sips of any kind of alcohol. We can
do a cookie exchange.
Yes, and we send it to each other beforehand and have it with like with us in time.
I'll float the idea by. I'll float the idea by tomorrow. How's that?
Tell her I love her so much.
Okay.
And that if she ever needed a babysitter, I would watch you with no issue.
I guess you're going to watch Puka and Munin.
That's what I mean. I would watch the dogs, no problem. Those are your kids. Like you could watch Pebbles for me. She just sits here and stares. She's cute and old.
And an allergen.
She's actually not bad. I know you're allergic.
I'm super allergic to them, so thanks.
Oh, the other you'd be fucked anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right, dude. What have you been doing lately?
A lot.
Well, show.
Isn't it great? I was like, usually I'm like, oh. So I don't know what to start with. Okay. No, I'll do the last thing when we get to the homework part. No, I'll show it and then I'll say, hey, it's whatever. Anyways, so I've been casting my hearts. Yay. And I'll probably have this one after I gloss it listed on my Instagram, because this one had like a condensation got into my pressure pot. Because fun fact, my compressor isn't holding air. Fun
Mm.
fact, my stepdad knew that, and then he forgot to tell me.
Well,
Yeah. So in order to hold it, like I actually have to like stand there and like it's fun. So I'm getting a new compressor this week.
okay.
But I also made this little guy that I'm sending off because this one was like a first cast off that had like bubbles and stuff.
Yeah.
But this also will go into my technique of the week because it's just like a hack thing. And then
Oh, cool.
this one's gonna get gloss. This one's for Robin's Nest
Okay.
for the Monster Mash show. It's like a pumpkin. This glows.
Ooh, that's cool.
The green glows, and I'm adhering its vines and leaves. Once we get off the show, I sculpted those, and then it'll be all glossed up, ready to go. I was thinking of like a jack-o'-lantern face on it, but then I was like, I have no idea where it would like look plausibly okay on it. There's just too many.
Let's see the next. You've cut it into thirds, so it's
Well, that's the heart,
No.
okay?
well, yeah, no, but because you cut it in thirds, it's gonna make. But like what I would recommend is you lay a sheet of paper over it, do a crayon rubbing on it, so then you have the basic shape, and you can trace that shape out, and then you can
Yeah,
start
I
drawing
don't
on
know.
drawing faces on as a practice. But
Yeah, I think I'm just
I mean,
gonna
like
leave
it might look cool if you have an asymmetrical face on one panel. Like nothing says jack-o'-lantern faces have to be symmetrical.
That's fair. Okay, let me think about it before I gloss it tomorrow.
And you have
And
Procreate, don't you?
yeah,
Why don't you take a picture of it and then you can do some. You can modify.
that's what I do for a lot of stuff.
And you can modify a manufactured thing in digital format and create something new.
Oh, we'll get back to that, I think. And I, ironically saying those things, I modified something new, or I modified something old. I remember when I made the shells or the shell for my Sank toy back in February.
Uh-huh.
I had one that I didn't like because I put in the middle a clear marble that was supposed to kind of be like a pearl, but then when you put the resin on top of it, all it does is look like a fucking hole.
Right.
So I put little Sharkies,
Okay.
and I'm gonna add another thin layer of clear, or no, I'm gonna add a little blue and then another clear layer.
Okay.
So it's gonna be like a little Sharky. So
Cool.
stupid little thing that I was like, it was in the room when I was casting, and I'm like, oh, I feel so bad that this just like is sitting here when it's so like it's so pretty with the resin inside of the shell. But then this is the big thing that I was really excited I made. So remember my shadow box I showed with like the resin piece and all that. So a bunch of my friends were like, oh, can you make it with blue, but not with a resin piece and not a shadow box? So basically
a new piece.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let me start figuring out what to do, whatever. So I made the first one for my friend, for her girlfriend, for her birthday. And she said she wanted a skyline and like autumn pieces and stuff.
Okay.
So I did this guy.
Ooh, fancy.
So it's got like all this like floral stuff, acorns, and like different like herbs and stuff like that, and like a little like rosebuds and whatever. So made that, and I actually was so excited to do alcohol ink work again on like these panels, because I love like just letting them blend like up in this top part, like here. Because then it just looks like a really cool sunset. And she said to me that that she really loved blues, and she was a Mets fan, and I am not. But I incorporated Mets by putting like a blue outline on, there. I made sure that the blue was prominent up here and made it lighter,
Okay.
of like use more of like the beginning of the sunset where it's still like dark or like an orange, not where it's like the dark blue yet. It's more of like a bluey, like a Met. It's not that bright ass blue that the Mets is, but like it's the lighter shade. It's not Yankee blue. And I made sure you could see the orange. I made sure you could see orange and like added orange flowers and stuff, and made sure I used like the orange roses I had instead of the pink ones. And oh, good. You could still smell it. I added cinnamon sticks in there too. So I've been like foraging. It sounds so weird. Like, not really like foraging, I guess foraging, because I've been collecting like acorns, and I've gotten like, well, cinnamon from the store, but like I've gone and found like wild lavender and like hung that stuff, and like this is my lavender from last year that I put in this like down here. And yeah, I don't know. I'm digging using my nature around me and this stuff. So I separated and organized like this carrier thing that I had that was actually what I would use to dry the flowers, but I have a new bucket for that. And it's really convenient because the bottom part I am now using for all of like the greenery, and the top I have all the flowers like are, organized of like, oh, these are the roses I dried up, these are the petals and the so that's what I made lately. And and my chunder, which I'm going to send you the picture tomorrow, because I deactivated my Facebook, not because anything bad happened. I did not get banned. I just needed a few minutes to breathe. So I'm going to send that to you in the morning and ask you to post that in the group, please.
Okay. Sure. As of right now, Facebook is about like, or at least my news feed is about like funny Star Wars memes and Squid Game shit. And I'm so tired of seeing Squid Game shit. Like, yeah. So all right. So I want to share mine, and despite sharing just my horrible opinion right now, here is my dead chunder. Let's see what it turned out. Fancy. Look
In
at
case
that.
no one noticed, Rick is wearing a onesie.
Yeah, whatever. So here is the top view of my chunder, and
Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights.
we'll turn off lights in just a second. So yeah, so loosely inspired by one of the death bubbles from the Legend of Zelda game, but I really wanted just like a black on black on black effect for that skull, and I wanted to paint it separate from the bait from the thing, even though from what I understand it's supposed to be like all one piece instead of like two items, but whatever. So yeah, I've got your standard Strohmeyer patterns going on throughout, and your standard. Let's see, where's the light switch? Black light. There's the black light. If you saw this on Instagram, thanks a bunch.
Nope. Oh, there we go.
Much. Oh gosh, new camera, and this sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a really weird horror movie.
It does. It looks. I had never tested this camera out with the black light, so.
But it's kind of cool. I won't lie.
Here's what we'll do.
But not for showing art.
It's got like that vintage video game vibe going on with.
Yeah.
And then we'll go here. We'll do a screen share real quick, because I have. Nope, not there. Oh God. Oh yeah, there's Mina and Puka. There we go. So that's what it looks like under my fancy black light setup downstairs. And yeah, this turned out pretty cool. I was like, I had to apologize to Angel because I'm like, oh, I am late on this. So like it just got varnished like 2 days ago, and I let it cure for 24 hours before I picked it up from the shop. And so I'm like, I'm gonna give it 72 hours in room temp to get ready before shipping. So hopefully I don't look like an asshole and have it late. So
I'm driving it in on Monday.
I'll blame you.
I felt more comfortable. Like I thought about it and then I was like, what the fuck is the point of that? Like,
I shipped mine. Well, I'm shipping mine in the original box, that it shipped in with the corners and stuff. And it's like, it gotta go. And I had to do some international shipping this week. Holy shit, we're screwed. Like, cost of the international shipping is through the roof right now. So yeah. All right, so let's see. We're moving along rather quickly.
oh,
That's
and after we logged off, I'm gonna go into my little Harley Quinn accent when I get all upset about things we miss. Whenever we forget things, I'm gonna get into like a Harley, my dad's New York accent or whatever. So when we logged off last week, Mr. Rick and I had our anniversary for our first technical official broadcasted episode.
Ready to do, click. No, that's a great point. I should have taken care of that in the housekeeping section. When we come back in 2 weeks, we're going to have I think we're going to have a special host and special game. So not only do we have we have homework due, but we have a potential cool ass game set up.
Maybe we'll have a giveaway.
So, we should. And yeah, so it just means paint things, make some communicate happen, and we should have something cool set up in 2 weeks. So yeah. All right. So go a little out of order, but have you checked out anybody's fancy paintings this week?
Fine.
Yours. Very good.
I've been working on too much shit to care. No offense to everybody. I love y'all. And I see what people are posting on Instagram and I'm giving it love, appropriately. But like I told Rick before we started the show, I have 4 shows this month and that's for a birthday and I have shit to do and things to get done and I love y'all equally this week.
I know I've been following MP Gutheron for a while, but like her
pumpkin,
her video, well, just the videos that she's been sharing on Instagram are really cool. So like following her.
Dude, do you see when she does it with the baby attached to her? I'm always like,
yeah,
she's fucking like, okay, as a woman, sorry I'm cutting you off, but like as a woman, I'm like impressed as fuck at like that hustle. When she was pregnant and then right after she had that baby, she's just like holding the baby, painting, and I'm like, what?
Like she's had some really cool Halloween themed things, paintings, toys going on. Like yeah. I don't know how to share Instagram at this point in time on this thing, so just like, hey, check her out. Show notes later. I'll put the address. So yeah, really cool. Yeah, what have you been listening to while you're doing this me paint session? No.
God, what have I been listening to? I don't know if I've been listening to anything like new because I rewatched Squid Games because after I was told that like the English version was shit compared to like the subtitle version, I was like, okay, well now I have to watch it with subtitles, and I was just like, oh, it was shit, and then everything else was just like the things that I have to catch up on.
Okay.
like the weekly shows like American Horror Story, and
Okay.
then all my other stupid shows that like no one cares about anymore, like Law and Order, because I have to watch it every week. Oh, you know what I did watch, and everyone makes fun of me, and I don't give a flying fuck. I loved my mom, so whatever. Um, you watched the show on Lifetime called Good Witch, and it's
Okay.
so stupid. It's so dumb. I'm so sorry. It was so stupid, so dumb, and like just really Lifetime cheesy shit. And it has had Catherine Bell in it from Jag, and
Okay.
she was in Jag, right? I think so. And then it had James Denton from like Desperate Housewives and shit like that. And that's the only people I can think of that I know offhand. And I'm like, oh, it's so cheesy. But I finished it only because I wanted to finish it because she didn't finish it. So I thought that that was nice, like just a nice little homage. And God, it's so cheesy and so like mom, and like like just so like that kind of shit. And God, I feel so bad saying that, but like for me and for most people, but it was just good for background because I'm obviously not like what's going to happen with the bakery girl and her boyfriend. And, and it's like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. They're going to be fine in the end. And you know what? Guess what? They were. So I finished the entire series, and I was like, I thought I was done with it like last year because I was told that it was done at season 5, and I was like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden I log on to Netflix and it was like new episodes, and I'm like, and there's 2 seasons on there, and I'm like double what? So I watched that, and I would not. I shouldn't say I wouldn't recommend it because that's so. If you like Lifetime stuff, you will like this show. If you liked Charmed, but you like cheesy shit, like
Nicole's throwing shade on the Lifetime.
Did you watch Squid Games?
No, dude.
Oh, come on!
I don't have Netflix.
I'll give you my password solely so you can watch it. I gotta stop giving out my passwords like that because I said to Colin, like, you can have my Disney, I don't care.
No, I don't like. I'm not sure it's going to appeal to me. So, like, maybe I'll chase after it. You know what? Here, I'll give it a chance. This upcoming weekend, we have a 4-day weekend. It's a glorious time. My best friend and I are going to do our yearly run to Fogo de Chao, get the meat on the swords.
Stop it!
I'll have Friday off. Alicia will be at work. I will. I'll give it a shot. How's that?
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this deal.
There you go. So
let me tell you. For someone who doesn't want to watch shit that I have no clue what's going on beforehand, like, or I'm like, what is this about? It superseded every expectation. I'm good at guessing things. Like I am very, in my mind, SVU efficient, and like I watch too much like crime shows for this shit. Like, and I did not see half the shit coming, and I am like, and even watching it the second time, I think I caught like 2 like things, like 2 Easter eggs where I was like, okay. And then I watched like a YouTube thing that was like Easter eggs that you might have missed. And I'm like, how did I miss that? Oh my God, that's so true. And I'm like, dude, watching it twice, I'm still like,
there you go.
No, maybe you have to. Yeah, you'll really compliments to the chefs with that one, Squid.
All right, there you go. Guess you didn't see what Chris Squink said about it.
Well, I've deactivated fucking Facebook, so I don't know.
No.
Everyone's like, "Did you see what blah 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 said?" I'm like, "No, I don't know.
No.
I don't know what's happening."
Chris Squinks was pretty good. I'll talk about it off camera or offline. But yeah. So Nicole, did you know there is a heavy metal band dedicated to Ned Flanders of The Simpsons?
Tell me more about this.
Oh, so you got the band members who all dress like Ned Flanders, the green sweater, pink undershirt, 70s mustaches, short brown hair.
Classes.
A metal band called Oakley Dokley, and available on Amazon.
Keep talking. I'm going on Apple Music while you talk.
So on Amazon Music, I found them the other day and I was like, holy shit, this rocks. And
how do you spell Oakley Dokley?
Oh, okay. ILLY DOKILLY.
Wait, OKILA.
Nope.
Oh, there we go.
And then kill.
Oh my god. Flanderdoodles.
Yep.
White wine spritzer.
Yes, with songs like Flanderdoodles, White Wine Spritzer. I don't remember any of the others.
You're a jerk. Donut hell. Vegetables. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am so after this. I am listening.
So that's one of the things I've been listening to this week.
Where did you find them?
Somebody else shared it on Facebook, and I said no way, and I went and found it, and I was like, well, this fucking rocks. So
when things are too good to be true, they're usually that good.
Janelle next. Oh, I can't remember. All right, so yeah, it's somebody on. I saw it on a Facebook feed, and I was like, oh no, fucking way.
Oakley Dokley.
Oakley Dokley. So there you go. And I'd shut down my notes. All right.
Question. Yes, where do you listen to your books?
So I use Audible, unfortunately.
Okay.
Like I'm not sure if I'm thrilled with or if I really like it or not, but so I'm on their subscription plan where you do $15 a month to get one book credit. Most books are one credit. Okay. And sometimes Amazon, and they're in affiliation with Amazon. Sometimes you can do a promo. They do promos where they'll give you a bonus credit a month. Or if you quit, or if you rejoin, or if you quit or something, they're like, oh, well, why don't you postpone it? We'll give you an extra credit, blah, blah, blah.
Aww.
So so the Dark Tower series cost me a 7 credits total. I guess 8.
So one for each book.
Yeah, one for each book. I've almost never encountered. I don't think I have or bought a 2 credit book. There have been some that have been 0 credits. That I guess they're public domain now. But the other day I was looking for the Lemony Snicket's Letters to Beatrice because I wanted just that, and apparently that doesn't exist as an audiobook yet. Yeah.
I haven't read
the Bachman books. The Bachman books it was a series of books King wrote under his pseudonym, and a compilation book exists, but for the audiobook industry, they're all sold separately. I guess so. Because of the Squid Games, I decided I'd download Running Man, and I haven't listened to it yet. But that's on my list of things to do tomorrow. Sort of. Like we watched on Amazon this one series of, it's got 5 seasons of world's most dangerous serial killers, and they just did the one. God dang it, I can't remember her name. The lady that Charlize Theron portrayed in Monster.
Oh,
And
I
'cause I've never,
love
so I yeah. So I've never seen Monster. So tomorrow
Of
we have
course
a
I know
movie.
it. Just ask.
So like, yeah. So tomorrow we have a date night for that. Of course, it's like, I'm gonna have to bring some toys to paint with us. What the hell? But yeah, like I have a guy that, or I have a guy who wants me to paint some custom toys for him, but he was very polite about waiting till I was done with my show. And then even afterwards, he's like, is it a good time to get some toys for me? I said, it's a great time. Thanks for being patient and understanding that the show is all consuming and the center of my world. And he was pretty cool about it. So he sent me some toys, and there we're gonna go. All right, Nicoletta, you have a technique of the week?
It's just like a tip. I don't know. Like,
You do it. I'm gonna run downstairs and get mine. Okay. So go ahead, and I'll be back in a minute.
so he has his headphones.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be some shit if I just sat here, guys, and just didn't talk about anything? No. Okay. So for my little heart, I don't like calling them my little hearts, but for my heart sculpt, I do not have a box yet for it. It's brand new. I'm just getting to casting. So I am like nifty thrifty over here with everything. And I often buy lots of bullshit because I do that for no applicable reason. So I had a table at like a art fest back in August, and I wanted to figure out, of course, this is after I sent them to fucking Strange Cat. I figured this out. I wanted to figure out what can I put these hearts in until I have like a stable, steady type of structure for it. And lo and behold, this beautiful little round, it's a cardboard box, so I'm going to paint on it. I get to customize it for each of the colorways that it is. It's from the dollar store, and sitting there like that. It'll have obviously cushion on top, and it sits in there like perfect after it's sanded. So in total, it cost me $1, $2, because for this, but that, so I guess it's not really $2. It's like $1.25 because the bag still has most of it in there.
That's cool.
So it's not really a technique. It's just like a trick tip thing. See what you have, use what you have, or if you don't have a custom box for your stuff, because a lot of people are always like, oh, I need a custom box for like my first toy, or they just like bubble wrap it or whatever. And of course that's what I did when I sent it to fucking Strange Cat. And then like I also put it in like this like lunch box or lunch bag that said My Bloody Valentine on it and like bloody red on it, and that was the whole point. So it would look like somebody like, so the mafia like
the prom.
well, more like like the mafia like leaves packages of dead things at your door. So like,
yeah.
Okay, here's a package of a bloody ass heart, like whatever. And my brain went real sour and south there, but I was like, okay, but for the other ones, like for the pumpkin or for, what can I use until it's like something like where I can't afford to get custom boxes or, whatever have you. Oh, this is adorable. And I can paint each one of them like custom, which is what Jade Mumbai did for her little Shumis at New York Comic Con. She had a little white paper bag and she sketched all over it, And that's what she put the shimmy in and just folded it over once, and there you
Oh.
go. So you had a little sketch on your fucking bag, like, to keep also. So it was like,
Dave
this
Webb
is
would, yeah.
boom.
Dave Webb would do that for most of his customs that he sent out. He would draw his fragile character on there. And
Somebody else
I
who
dig
did
it.
that with a box was is Fifth Turtle. He did it like I have in the other room, the Hellboy colorway for the Dead Dreamer. He sketches on all of his shit.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Like
$2.
that's cool. All right. So as you all know, I'm pretty safety minded about a lot of things because like so we're growing up. We grew up in a society where everybody has warning labels on everything because everybody's tried everything to dismember themselves or remove themselves from this side of the living. So I have a cringe when it comes to people being unsafe. Those, I guess, yeah. So one of the things that I see a lot on modeling videos and stuff, and I know we got a good share of modelers and stuff and on this scene, is like when people want to cut like foam or whatever, and they think and a razor blade is the best use, and they will take their handy dandy box cutter, and normally they have a full blade on it and they extend it all the way out so they have a 6-inch razor blade so they can chop things up on it. My brain screams at my heart screams at that idea.
No.
Yeah.
Who
so,
does
yeah.
that? Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna. Don't call people out.
It's a general practice, so it kills me to see that because like these blades are not meant to do that because they're meant to break. So like using them as saws is a incredibly careless thing. And I see tons of modelers, hobbyists do it. Even like terrain and scene builders, they not pros use this way. So like what you can do is just go to, instead of doing, even we all should have one of these at our disposal, but get yourself a semi cheap carving knife. In fact, get two, one this size and then a steak knife size one, and like hone this because this will cut through foam too, and like it's there's two reasons to do that. One, it's a solid chunk of steel. It is easier to control. It's less likely to break or snap on you. And as a knife itself, yes, it'll need sharpening, and that's also a skill we should have. And there's people who don't know how to sharpen knives on this planet, and yeah, that should be a thing everybody should know. Whether it's a kitchen knife or a hunting knife or whatnot, know how to sharpen that. And then yeah, get yourself a smaller one. And both of them are not, and neither one is serrated, so that you can have that nice honed edge that a box cutter can get. And some counter argument to this idea is that, well, this is more accurate because the blade is thinner. And like, yeah, well, then that's why you use the steak knife. And if the steak knife still isn't thin enough for this, go ahead and break out an X-Acto knife, because by that time you're already going in for minute details. The X-Acto knife is fine. It's a single piece of metal too. So
you can also get a clay blade.
So there's Rick's advice. Trade this out for one of these. All right, that's like number one. It might be harder to store depending on your living situation, but this is like an upgrade to this. I promise. Right.
Just don't carry these around with you, because I know where I live, it's illegal to carry a knife that's over.
And then that's a good point. And then the other one I would do is I would write on a Sharpie, crafting only, so that somebody doesn't accidentally decide they're, no, seriously though, like I
would do that.
Yeah, if you have somebody invasive visiting you for Thanksgiving or whatever, and they just happen to see a knife there, well, why is that? They wash that and they cut. Yeah, so there you go. My handy dandy tricks for the, oh shit, my handy dandy tricks for the night. So
My handy
safety
dandy tricks
conscious.
for the oh shit.
No, I was thinking about our homework and like, oh, I had this funny example. I don't know who I'm looking for. I don't know actually what. I don't have the artist to reference at this point in time. So we're going to sign off, but before we do, it is the 16th of October. And so we've already done our 3 shows for the month, which means we do have a double dead week. So, but because we're on the dead week schedule, it is the homework time. So Nicole has a great idea about doing this, and it's a play off of the not last homework, but a previous homework of the random marks, where instead of you making a random mark on your sheet, grab something that's pre-manufactured and then modify that. I like, what comes to mind is there was a French surrealist who had a postcard of the Mona Lisa, and you pretty much drew like a Salvador Dali face over top of her. And so, like, whether so hold her up
when
again.
When I brought it up to Rick, my brain was going into like the videos I've been seeing lately of people who are like, they hand a friend their like a paper and say sketch something on it, and then they draw what they see in it. Or what I've really been liking is people will paint something. So like, this is, for example, take a picture of this and then digitalize pieces on it to make it a new piece, but you still have the original. So don't spray over and prime it. This is what you will be using. This is the color. If this example, this is what you will be using. You will not be covering this with gray or acetoning this motherfucker. That's the point. Use what you got and make it what did I call it earlier? A remix.
A remix. There you go. That sounds cool. We'll I'll find the thing that I'm looking for, and
I'll see if I can get like the sound bites that I'm thinking of in my head that goes remix. Like, so when we show the homework, I could just be like,
we might get us flagged for using somebody's licensed property. YouTube's big on that.
Okay, maybe I'll just go like on my own. Okay?
That is why CBGBs.
Maybe I might actually use this one.
That'd be cool. That is why CBGBs only didn't want people to do cover songs, because they didn't want to have to pay for any licensing. So,
that's fair.
Fun fact. Which is how we got so much talent going through there. All right, Nicole, we have wrapped up this day. Tell the good folks out there where they can find you.
Well, not on Facebook right now, and it's not because I'm banned, which is usually the case. But on Instagram, the .madhattress.
Very good. And I am Rick Stroh, RICSTROH on the Instagram. And yeah, thanks for coming for the good vibes, Nicole. There we go. Good night.
Wait, what is it?